So what have we done so far? We finished yesterday, that is operators, and we looked at all different types of select commands. So what I'll be going through today is we look at some functions. Yesterday somebody was asking, right, string reverse is there or no? Uh, if you want to reverse, if you want to do some manipulations on string and all those kind of functions. So I'll try to explain some functions. Uh, there are a lot of functions that you can use. You don't have to remember all of them because it's too huge. And if you know that, okay, I want to do this particular thing, and if you know that it is supported in MySQL, you can just go and do a Google query and search what is the function and remember the syntax for it. So you don't have to remember everything. That is fine. Then we'll also look at the other commands, and then we'll try to, if time permits, I'll just start with create or alter and drop as well today. Okay, let's just go ahead. So we did discuss one command yesterday. We were discussing select commands, right? So there is one more such that is called as select unique or select distinct. So what it does is it gives us all the unique or distinct elements from a column. Just to show you the example, if take here, right? Let's say I wanted to find what all are the unique allergies in the patient. So I would do select unique. Some query language, some MySQL supports distinct, I think. So some don't support distinct, some support unique. Select distinct. What do we want? Allergies. Allergies from patients. So you can see what all are the distinct values that are present. What all are the distinct allergies. So instead of doing distinct allergies, if I do distinct what distinct cities, we can see what all are the distinct cities is it is showing. Let us say if I wanted to count the number of distinct cities, I would do select count and distinct. So what we are doing here, we are getting the distinct cities. We are finding all the distinct cities and we are doing a count of them. Okay, so this is count query. Let us say I wanted to do it for allergies. It has 63 allergies. So this is how we use distinct query. So where it is useful, if I want to find out, let us say I have a website. Like for example, let us say I have OYO, hotel booking. So in hotel booking, you'll have all the different types of rooms, right? You have what can you call suite? They have honeymoon suite, they have normal suite, they have sea facing apartment or sea facing room, or let's say they have double bedroom and so all of that. So if I wanted to show it to the user, like how would do it? You'll have an option, right? You'll have an option to choose. This would help. So you'll have an option to choose what are the kind of hotels you wanted. You can pick any one of them. So just to show that tab, see what are the distinct types of hotels available, you can use command like this. So here it is like, what are the distinct types of cities that are there in this? Just to do a drop down for patient, I can select distinct city. And then later on, if I want to find out, if I want to pick somebody from one city, I can use this city and then do where query and all. Okay. So this is a distinct keyword. Next is count. I think count also we discussed. We discussed yesterday only, I think count. When you do count star, it returns everything. And then if you put count and then distinct, it returns you the number of distinct elements as well. We discussed all of this, right? This I just showed you. So if you do select from let's say state patients, so this will return me all the values. If I would do count allergies, I think we discussed this as a 2471 because count doesn't calculate the null values. Because of that, it is returning 2471. And I can also use count star. This also returns me all the values. Okay, so this is count, and then random. So what is the use of this function? Okay, so what this does is it orders the items in the table randomly. So whenever you do order by random, right, it shuffles just like how you shuffle cards and all, right? So it will shuffle all the items in the table. So that way, what happens is if you, let's say you want to give one random item to the user, like for example, you have an online exam and you want to display random questions because everybody should not get the same question, right? So you can do order by random, and then it will give a random question, and you can show it to the, you can send it back to the customer to the user, whoever it is. So I'm doing a limit. I don't think if random is supported here. Let's start from patients. No, order by. And I think it's there. One. Now it's giving me 3400. If I rerun the same thing again, it will give me something different. It is giving me 2473. Again, it gives me something different. So what it is doing is this is a function which generates some value, and based on that value, it is ordered, and because of that, every time we get some random ID, okay, some random row. Okay, I hope I'm clear here. Yeah. If you select group by, doesn't it also affect distinct? Using group by, so you would say like this: select distinct LFGs. Distinct is only at select. It will not affect group by queries. Okay. Go ahead. So some also I think we discussed. So let us say I had calculate the sum of all the heights. So I would do select sum and then just say heights from patients. This just adds up all the items in the column. Instead of doing height, if I would and wait, this won't work on other columns because the other columns are allergy is just like a string column, right? So it wouldn't work on a limit means you're only giving one record. You're correct. So select some allergies. If I do allergies is not a number or decimal, so you'll only get 0 for it. Okay. It's clear. See, I go to next. So we'll discuss about some date functions. So when do we use these date functions? Let us say there are different use cases. Let us say you want to find out what is the current date, or let us say you want to find out difference between two dates, or let us say you want to take some particular value from a date, or you want to add anything that you want to do with dates. So you have a lot of dates function for that. What I have done is I only taken few functions so that just to show you the available options. To show you that it is all possible in MySQL, just like how you do in your coding, right? How you do in your Java, C++, or whatever language, you have a lot of functions there, string functions, date functions, and you can write your own custom functions also, right? Similarly, most of the things are also supported in MySQL. Okay, we'll just try to execute all of this and then run them so that you get to see. But I'm not saying you have to remember all of these and by heart all of this. So if you know that there is a way to get it done, you should be able to do a Google search afterwards and find out. Okay. So just for example, what does select current date do? It shows you what is the current. Select. You see, it is showing you the current date, right? 2023 126. So 26 Jan. So you have many other functions similarly. Date time. What this does is, let us say you get some date full whole time string. So it contains the date and it also contains the time. So what this will do is this will only give you the date difference. It will only give you the date from the whole timestamp. Okay, like just for example, select date. Was it say 011 01 01 1253 So if I run this, it should only give me the date. Right? So it is giving 2011 first Jan. Okay. And then you have a function to do difference between two dates. I would do select if so you have one date and you have two dates. Say it is 22 01 01 2022 0201. Put it written. So it is saying that it is back by 32 days. So it is taking this as a first value and it is taking this as a second value. It's seeing the difference in terms amount of days. But if I do this 02 and then this 01 01, so now it should give me 31 days, right? Jan has 31 days, right? So this give me a difference of 31 days. Okay. This is one such function. So what are others? So there is another function called as extract function. So what it does is you can only take a particular value from the whole date time. Like for example here, right? Extract, you have given the whole time and you're only saying give me day. It is doing that. For example, select extract function unit as day from 2012 06 30 30. Okay, so if I want day, it should give me 30th, right? So it is giving me 30. So like there are many other things that you can extract. So day, then let me show you what are the possible units. So there's a different function, but these are all the units that you can extract. So if I would do month, right, it would give me the month. So month is 6. If I wanted quarter, quarter will give me the quarter. So this should be second quarter of the year. Second quarter, it is giving me quarter. And then you have a lot of functions. Week is there, month is there, day is there. If I put hour, second, and minute, these are also there. So this way, right? There was a question where it was saying select all patients born in first quarter. So this is as good as saying select all people who were born in Jan, Feb, or March. So how can I do that now? So I'll just have to do extract. I'll extract quarter from date. So select star from patients. I don't know if extract will work here. Where birth date, birth date, should not be birth date. I'll do extract. Extract doesn't work. Let's see if I have some query here. I have companies, not factor. It's not there. Okay, but you understood the point, right? So how I would do it is select star from. I'll just take the query from here. I start from patients where extract birth date. What will extract quarter from birth date is equal to 1. So what this will give me? This will give me all the patients who were born in the first quarter of the month, first quarter of the year, because birth date is here. So if I would want first Jan month, I would just do month, and then it will, if I make it 1, this will give me all the people who were born in January. If I wanted to find all the people who are born in a particular year, I can do year and then like this. So how we are trying to do it yesterday was we are using like command, right? So where I was doing where birth date like, and then I used to do 2000, and then if I was doing a percentage symbol, then it was getting anything that is in 2000. Or if I was doing people who were born in first month, so what I was doing 01, and then I was doing again anything. Right? So this is also one way, but if you actually want to use date functions and do it, you can do how I said, showed you here. Sorry. Okay. So there are similarly a lot of other functions. So make date. So what this make date does is, if you give a year and if you give the number of days, it will create a date which is specifically with month and date. So that also you can check. Select make date 2022, and then if I give it 33 days, 32 days, so it should give me what? Should give me 1st of Feb. Right? So you can see it is giving me 1st of Feb. Okay. So hour, date, time, this will get written with hour and the time. And there is one more function, date add. Here what you can do is you can, so if you give it if you give it one time, sorry. So if you give it a time, and then if you give whatever time you added, like interval 20 minutes, if you give 20 days like this, right? So then what it will do, it will add that value and it will show you. You can take this also example. Date, what was it? Date add. And then you give it a time. 2022 01 01 interval what is the syntax? 20 days. Okay, there is some issue. 1 second. Here is the manual syntax. What is the syntax? Date add. Okay. I think I'm missing something. Okay, it's comma. Sorry, I'm missing comma. Okay. There were, I think one more comma should be there. days is not there, day is there. Okay. So if I run and enter, so you see what it is giving. It is giving me, so I'd initially given it Jan 1st, and when I told it to add 20 days, it gave me Jan 21st. Okay. So then we have another function by which you can print a date in any way you want. Okay. So like for example, so there's a date format and you give whatever is the input date. And then if you want to, let's say, print the week name. So if you give dollar percentage A, it will give you abbreviated week name. If you give percentage B, it will give month name. So similar like this, I can show this also. Date, what? Select. Date format. Let's say given it date 2001, 0101. So if I ask it to tell me the day, what was the day on that day, let's say, if I give it percentage A, if I run this, then it should give me what was the day on that day. So what was the day? It was Monday. Let's say I want to print it like full date time, Monday. Let's say I also want to print the month, Monday, then I'll give percentage B. This will give me Monday, Jan. Let's say I also wanted to print day of the year, month. Let's say I also wanted to print AM or PM. So if I give percentage P, Monday, Jan, AM. I'm not given the time, but yeah. So let's say I wanted to print the whole month, full month. Then you see percentage M is for full month. So if I would give percentage M, capital M, so it should give me January. Right? So this way, people, you can show time in different ways. So let us say somebody says, I want the time to be something like this. The time is 12:01, 12:30:00, Jan 1st, Sunday. Okay. But this 1st, 2nd, I think that is not supported. But you can give Jan 1 Sunday, right? So here how I would do then, I'd put a comma. So let's see how can I get abbreviated month. Abbreviated month is given by percentage B. So I do percentage B. And I want to find the date, number date. So how is the number date given? Number date is percentage small m, month in numeric value. So it will give me percentage B, percentage small m, and then I want to find what do I want to print? I want to print the day full. So how is that given? That is week number, no. Name of weekday, percentage W, capital W. Sorry, okay. So now if I run this, so you got it right, Jan 1st, Monday. So this way, however you want to print the string, if you want to print it, if you want to print the date, if you want to print in different ways, you can print it. And you don't have to remember this all. If you know how to use it, that is fine. You can refer to this anytime. Okay. And nobody will ask you to remember this whole thing also. Okay. So these are dates. Similar to dates, we also have functions for strings. So I'll just, these are also very straightforward. You don't have to think so much about this. There is a function and you give it some input and it will return you the output value. Remember a few days back, I was saying ASCII values and all. I was showing you this ASCII table, if you guys remember. This I was showing this. Right? So we can also get this value directly from MySQL. So how is that? So here we can see, right? Sorry. The ASCII value of capital A is 65. So I can also get this from MySQL. So if I were to select ASCII, and then if I do A, it should give me 65. It is giving me 65, right? So let's say if I do B, it should give me 66. But capital A, it should give 97 or something. Okay, so capital A is 97. So you don't have to remember this also. If you anywhere want to use ASCII values and then do something, you can do ASCII and then it will give you the value. Okay. What other functions have I written? Let us say we want to find the length of a string. So for example, we have this table, right? Select star from Amazon Electronics. No? Use so you can see it is giving the out. Okay. So let us say I wanted to find out the length of all the strings of the names. So what I can do is that time select star comma length is equal to I'll not do that. You should not do like this. You should do char length of the name as length comma no, this much from electronics. So then what it will do is it will give the length of all these character strings now. You can see, right? We have created a new row at the end, 15, 18, 24. So this is giving me the length of all of these values. So this is one function. I think normal string length is also there. I've written that. Just length also returns give the same value. Okay, length also gives the same value. These are two functions. And then you can do concat as well. So let us say I wanted to give a new name where what I do is I want to add the name of the product and also I want to add the category at the end. So then what I'll do, I will do concat name. Concat is like joining two strings. So like for example, if I do concat of apple comma ball, it will return me apple ball. Okay. So if I do concat of apple comma and then ball, it will return me apple ball, something like this. So here what I'm doing, I'm concatenating the name of the product and the category. So in middle, I'll just add this minus symbol and then category. Let's call it new name. Okay. So if I run this, should see. Okay. You can see, right? New name is a combination of the name plus the category. Alex, this. So where you can use this, one more thing, right? You can also use it in, let's say the student table is there, right? Star student. Okay. It's guy only name. So let us say somebody had a first name and last name. So then what I could do, full name, I can say select concat first name, comma, space, comma, last name as full name from some table name. Okay. So then what this would do, this will give me the full name as a combination of first name and last name, so that I can store first name, last name separately in the table. And whenever if somebody asks me the full name, I will just use a function, use a string function and add it at the end and then return it. Okay. So let's say here, instead of that, I wanted to add roll number and then name is full name from student, right? You can see full name is now roll number and the name of the student. There are also functions like lower, upper. So what lower will do is, let's say I have a string and I want to make lower character of it. I want to give the small letters. Let's say if it is apple, I want it to be printed in small letters. So it will give me apple. And similarly, if I had apple, I want to make it uppercase. I'll just do upper, and if I hit enter, this will give me apple. Okay. So I think you'll be able to see a lot of functions. All of these will be very straightforward. You can just read the definition and see one or two examples and use them. Okay. Let us go ahead. Again, same. I don't want to take more time. You can read about them and try to understand. We'll now start about insert statement. So yesterday we looked at all different types of select statements, right? So select statement is used to get data from the table and read the data from the table. But if I want to insert data into the table, we need to use insert statement. Okay, so what are the ways by which we can add data into the table? There are like many ways. One, insert. The first that I want to show is, so let's say you wanted to add only one value, one row. So then what you can do is you say the insert into table name, and then for what all columns you want to add the value. Okay, and then you do values and add out those values. If I want to add it for multiple columns, I can just say insert into values. Uh, Here field name is not here. Okay, I'll just tell what it is. So you just add all the values one after that. Okay. We can also use set command. I'll show how to use set command also. We can also use select command, and we don't have to specify the column name if you're adding any, if you're adding all the information, all the columns. Okay. Just show you by hand here. So let us say I want to add something into the student table. Select star from student. So what is it? It looks like this. Okay. So if I was supposed to add into student table, what can I do? Insert into. Insert into is the name of the query. Insert name of the statement that you have to do. Insert into table name, student, and then what all you want to insert. Okay. So you have roll number, then you have name, and then you have English, then you have science, and you have maths. Okay. Did I do? Okay. And then we need to do values. Let's say his roll number is 108, and then the name of the student is Kudrat, and then English marks are 89, science marks are 86, and then maths marks are 75. Okay, so now if I do enter, so you can see it says one row has been added. So if I do a select statement now, right, you will see Kudrat has been added, right? So let us say I wanted to add more than one student. So then what I'll do, I'll say it's 109. Say it is Sushant. Sushant, right, Sushant, 75, 90, 80. Okay, so one value added. And then we can need to put column here. And let's say I want to add one more person's value. Values 110, comma, say it's Ankit. Ankit, and then you have 90, 90, 90. Okay. So now what I'm doing, I'm adding more than one value. Okay. Into values, why is it showing? Okay. Why values is extraneous input values found. Sort into student values. Why? 8. Sort into values. Okay, it's only one, sorry. Okay, so it's one, sorry. So we have values and I've added 2 items here. So now both of them should go inside. So you can see there is a green mark. Now if I do select star from students, I should see two more people added. Right? 110, okay, 90, 90, 90. Okay, 109 session. So let us say, because if you see here, right, I am adding all the columns. If you see the column table, right, student table has, you can see here, student, you can see in the cop here. Roll number is there, name is there, English, science, and maths. So there are 5 columns, and I'm adding values into all the 5 columns. So if you're doing this, right, if you're adding values into all the 5 columns, you don't have to specify this as well. Because it knows, MySQL knows that there are only 5 values and you're adding row by row. So roll number is here, name is here, English, science, and maths is here. So you don't have to specify the column names. let's say if I do 111, 112, and let's say now I have Uday, and I have, who else is that? Kudrat we already added, right? Tasif. Okay. So now if I do this, it should have added, it has added Uday and Tasif. So even though I didn't specify the number of columns, it has worked. So now if I give it this, you can see I have added Uday and Tasif, right? So how many possible ways we saw? One is add only one column, row with specifying column names. Two is add more than one, same thing, whatever. Okay. Then three, add any number of columns, rows, without specifying the column name. Okay. So if I'm not specifying the column name, the condition here is we have to give all values. Okay. So this is one thing. So let us say, what if I wanted to add only for one or two columns? Okay. So let's say I only want to add Uday's marks. I want to update now. I want to add Uday's, update is not possible. Let's say I want to add Uday's marks only for one particular column. Okay. So what will happen if I do like this? Uday, and I won't give one more column. So what will happen now? It will fail. It will fail saying column count doesn't match value count. Okay. So why column count doesn't match? Because there are, if you don't specify anything, by default it thinks that we are adding values to all the 5 columns. But you see here there are only 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is why it is failing column count doesn't match. Okay. So let us say if I add one more, now will it go through? It won't still go through because roll number is the primary key. That is fine. But if I do some other 119, and then if I do somebody else's name, let's say Sushant Ritik. Okay, so now this will work. But let us say I only wanted to add two columns. How will I do then? Let's say I only wanted to add the roll number and the name. I don't know what are his marks, so I'll update it later. So then can I do like this? 120. And then let's say name is Shivam. Okay. So I won't be able to add because we know that column count doesn't match. But now I can do like this. So in what all columns do I want to add? I want to add it in roll number, and I also want to add it in name. Okay. So now you have seen. So we only added roll number and name. So the other value should be default. If I do a select, just see. Okay, so you see, his other marks are null. English is null, science is null, maths is null. That is why, because we didn't specify anything for other columns. We only wanted to add it in 2 columns. We only added it in 2 columns. So now later on, if I want to update any of this, I'll have to use an update statement. I cannot again use insert statement. Okay. So I can also insert using set. I was saying, right? Insert set roll number is equal to set into table name. Table name is student. Set roll number is equal to, let's say, 125, and what is the other column? Name is equal to what is name? What is name? What is name? Who wants to go next? Let's say it is Madhukar. Okay. So now if I run this, this will also work. So now what has happened is we have added so the roll number 25 Madhukar to the table. So if you see, select star from student, Madhukar also should be there at the end. Okay. His marks are also not added. You can also do one more thing, that is insert into table name, that is student. Insert into student, and I can say select star from, star wouldn't work actually, but let us say I'll change the roll number. Select roll number is equal to roll number plus 10 is equal to as roll number from we'll take other columns also, comma name, comma English, comma science, comma maths from student. Okay, so now what I'm done, I'm using a select statement. So whatever input we'll get from this select state, whatever answer we get from that select statement, right, that we'll use as, right. I'll remove this line for now. I'll just show you what this will output. So this will give us from 111. From 111 also is not possible because there are already people with 111. Let's say I do 50, 100. So this will give a new set of students whose roll numbers are different. Okay, so now I can add this into the student table. Insert into student, and I then select this. So what this will do, whatever output I'm getting from this table, right, it will insert all of it into the student table. I think did it do? Okay, so it has happened. See. Okay, so now if I do select star from student, you should be able to see how many rows. Roll number starting with 100, and there are people whose roll numbers are starting with 200 as well. Okay, so what have we done? We have done 3-4 things. One is let's go back to the PPT. So we inserted a single row. We inserted multiple rows. We also used the set command to insert data. We also used the select command to insert data, and we saw that if you are already giving all the values for all the columns, then you don't have to add this column names in the beginning. And also you cannot put name first and then roll number next. Like for example, the same Ritik, no. So now instead, if I do Ritik here and then insert into value student Ritik, let's say it is 100, 100, 100. Okay, I have done this, but if I put Ritik here, and if I put 270 here, so now it will not have, it will fail, it should fail. Why? Because the first column it is expecting is roll number and it should be of type int, but you're given a string here, right? So it should fail. See, it has failed. Incorrect integer value Ritik for column roll number at row 1. Okay, why it is failing? Because it is saying at first column I'm expecting a roll number, I'm expecting an integer value, but what have you given? You have given a string, so because that it won't work. I think we have covered insert properly. Yeah. Any doubts? Can I explain set again? Yeah. Set also same. Insert into the name of the table student, and then what we will do is, why is it set? You can now you say set and you set the column names. First is roll number. You can take smaller, but it's fine. Roll number is how much do I want to add the roll number to be? So let us say I want the roll number to be 600. What is the name of the student? Name is equal to let's say, what ask me the question? Harsh. And English, and then English will be equal to. So it's like we write set and then we take the column name and then we add whatever value we want to add. English, let's say, is called 100. Same. Maths, next is maths, right? Maths. Let's say Harsh is very interesting. He has scored 100 in maths also. And then even in the other subject, that is science, Harsh has scored 100. So if I do an insert, you can see this column. It is similar to writing insert into student values 600, comma Harsh. Can you single or double quote? Doesn't matter. Harsh 100, 100, 100. So both of these statements are one and the same. Okay, I hope that clears it up. You want to select also explanation again? Okay. So set, you people understood? So set is just similar to this. Instead of writing as values, I've written set here. It is like you are assigning each of these column names one value, and then it is getting added to the table. Okay. So let us do again select. So whenever I'm inserting, right, insert into table the student, what I need to keep in mind, one thing. So whatever are the column names, right? Whatever are the column names and the data type of that column. So all the items that I'm inserting should be same. So whatever, how many columns are there in this table, right? The amount of columns that should be there in the place from the place that I'm inserting also should be same. So what I did is, you can use a select statement. Select star from student. Okay. So now if I do this, this is also valid statement. So what I'm doing, I'm taking all the elements that are present in the student table and I'm adding it here. But the issue now is it happens because the roll number is set as primary. You cannot put duplicate roll number. So because the roll numbers in this table and roll numbers in this table are both matching, right? If it is 100 here, I'm getting an 100 here. If it is 101 here, I'm getting 101 here. So because of that only, what I'm doing, I'm increasing the roll number by 200. Let's say now I'll increase the roll number by 200. So roll number plus 200 is the new roll number. So now this will work. Why this will work? This will work because now the roll numbers don't clash. So now the roll number of students here will be 500 something, 600 something, like this. But if I didn't do this, the roll numbers of both the students in both the tables will be same. So I cannot add two roll numbers in one single table itself because they have to be unique. Okay. So that is why when I do this, this will work now. Oh, it is still failing. Okay, because I've added one extra column, right? So what I can do is take roll number, and then we have to add all the other columns also. Roll number, and then we have name, we have English, and then we have science, and then we have maths. Okay. So now it has been inserted. So now if you see, I have again more number of students. All the students who are added now, they all will be there. What happened? Select star from student. Okay, so now you see there are even more people. It has gone to 400, 300 and all because we added people. We increased the roll numbers by 200 and then we added them. Okay. So insert, if there is mandatory, it is only mandatory if the table requires it. So here you're not specified, I think you're not specified English is required, not null, right? So even if you don't insert anything, it will become it will be null value. Like I can do this. This should work as well. Say roll number I 2200. See, it has added Harsh. So because it is not compulsory to add values into these columns, English, science, and maths, I can just add only two values also. Okay. So how to make that it should be compulsorily added, I'll tell you how to do that. So that is when you are creating a table, you specify certain constraints. You say that if somebody is adding data into this column should always have a value, or this column's value should always be greater than certain value. So all of that is specified when you're creating a new column, like for instance. Okay. We'll learn how to do that once we start creating tables. Okay. Yeah, specifying data type while inserting. You don't have to specify data type, right? So the only thing is it should match whatever is the like why it was failing here that we added. No, so insert into student values Ritik. Why it was failing here? The first column in your table is roll number. And what is the type of roll number? Roll number is of type integer. Okay, but what am I inserting here? This is of type string. So if I try to insert string into an integer, it will fail. It will fail saying you're trying to insert wrong type data type into the table. So like if I put enter, you can see the error. So it says incorrect integer value, right? Because it is expecting integer on column 1, but instead of integer, it is getting some other value. Because of that reason, we are getting this issue. Okay, but if I instead make this a number, then it will work properly. So I make it. Then this will fail because I've given it number. It should be string again. Okay, I'll just show that also. Okay, it considered it as a character and inserted. Okay, that is fine. So numbers, if you just put directly also, it is considered as character. So now the student name becomes 122. Okay. So what is the syntax of update? We'll see first. Okay. So how we are using set in insert, right? Similarly, we use set here also. And we start with update. What is the name of the table? And then whatever columns we want to update. Let's say we only wanted to update one column of that table. We can add only one column. And what is the value? And then a where clause. In select statement, we had used where clause where any condition, right? Where some column name is this, some row value is this. If it is, if you put and, if it is in this, like that. So similarly like that, we use a where clause and then we update. Okay. So we can use update call. We can only update rows from one table at a time. We can update single or multiple columns. You can specify any condition in the where clause. And one more problem you have to always keep in mind, like in actually when you're writing queries and all. So if you miss a where clause, right, everything will get updated. Okay. Like for example, say I come here into student table. Okay. One second, I'll do a new table. Okay, so let's say I created a new table, student one. Select star from student one. Okay. So now if you see student one has this. Okay. So let us say what I wanted to do. I did some calculation mistake in Kudrat's marks. Okay. Kudrat had actually scored let us say 90 in maths. So I had mistakenly given him 75. So what I'll do update table name, that is student one. Okay. Set maths is equal to what? 90, where roll number is equal to 108. Okay. So Kudrat's roll number is 108. What do I want to do? I want to only update maths marks. So I've done this. So now if I execute this, this would have worked. Oh, you're using save. Okay, wait. Okay, now we'll do it. Okay, so now you can see what I'm trying to do here is update student one table, set maths marks to be 90, of whom wherever the roll number is 108. So because I know there is only one roll number, that is 108 is the only roll number. 108 exists only once, so it should only update the maths marks of roll number 108. So if I do enter, so now it has set. I can also check now. Okay. So if I do select star from student one, where roll number is 108. So you can see. So you can see, right? Kudrat's maths marks have been updated to. 1 second, why is it coming? Oh. Second. Okay. So you can see that Kudrat's maths marks have been updated to 90. Okay. But let us say I somehow forgot to add this where clause. Okay. By mistake, you only added set and you executed. So what will happen now? You did a mistake. Everybody's marks have become 90. Star from student one. Do enter. You can see that. So everybody's marks have become 90. Right? So let us say you're doing something with accounts and you wanted to update the salary of only one person, right? And you somehow forgot the where clause. Then what will happen? Instead of updating the salary of one person, you'll update it for everyone. Okay. So it is always important to write where clause whenever you're doing any updation. Okay. So now let us say I want to update not just the marks of maths. I also want to update some other table as well. So what I'll do, select maths 90, and then let's say I wanted to update science to be is equal to 100. He got 100 in science. So now if I do this again, so now what will happen? His Kudrat's marks, that is roll number 108 students marks, maths will be 90 and science will be 100. You can check that as well. Select start from student one, where roll number is equal to 108. So his science marks is updated to 100. Okay. So let us say now I wanted to do something else. So let us assume, so somehow what has happened, there was some entry mistake and all the students from 101 to 110, right? They were supposed to get 100 marks in English. So can I do that? Yeah, I can do that also. We can also update more than one row at a time. Update table. What is the name of the table? No, not update student one. Okay. Set English is equal to 100, where roll number in between 101 and 110. This is the correct one. Yeah. So now what I'm trying to do, go to this table, set everybody's marks to 100 of whose roll number is between 101 and 110. There was some count uh, entry mistake, and they, instead of giving 100, they again wrong number. So if I run this, and now if I do a select star from student one, I can see all the people from roll number 101 to 110, their marks have been increased to 100. Okay. So you can not only update one column, you can also update two columns at the same time, and you can not only update one row, you can update more than one row also at the same time. So updating more than one row is controlled by the where clause. Okay. Yeah. So there is also a keyword called ignore. So what can happen is, let us say while updating something, you cause some error. So if you add ignore, what will happen is it will ignore that update, and it will just go ahead. Like for example, so let us say this will be for everyone anyway. So let us say what I did is I wanted to update everybody's roll number to 100. If I do, what was it? Ignore, right? Ignore. Sorry. That is the presentation. Okay, it's here. So I'll start ignore here. So now, actually, this will not update anything. It has updated everyone. Yeah. Should not. It would have only updated the first guys. Okay. Others one, it would have failed, and but since I've done ignore, it should not do anything because roll number is primary key. Student one. Oh, sorry, roll number is not a primary key. So then you could have done update to everyone. Okay, so this is fine. Star from, it has done updated to everyone. But you can add conditions to when updating certain values. So let us say I want everybody's age should be greater than 80. Okay, and then somehow you enter one value whose age is not greater than 18, it is less than 18. So then if you, while updating, if you do a ignore here, right, so it will leave that and it will go and update everybody else. Okay, it should show you in the warning here. So rows match is 1, change is 1, warning is 0. So then it will become warning 1. Okay, so if I was going to do the same student, right, now it should have failed. See, so it is saying it has only changed one row. 9 other rows have failed with warning. Okay, so because in student the roll number was a primary key, you cannot have more than one similar value. So what it did for first column, for first row, it saw that 101. So 101 it updated to 100 because there was nobody else whose number was 100. But later on when it tried to update other numbers to 100, because there is already 100 in the table, all the other ones failed. So that is why you see 9 warnings. But even though they failed, the whole query did not fail. If I remove this ignore, right, now it will show red. See, it is showing cross. Right? That is the difference when you use ignore. And low priority, it's okay for now. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. What have I done? Update. Yeah. So table name, column names where you want to update. You update it using the set clause, and where clause is optional. But if you don't want to update everything, you have to specify where clause, where you only want to update one or two rows. How to update more than one column at the same time. So I showed you this, right? So for roll number between 100 and 10, let's say I want to English is also 100, and then maths is also 100. So you can see here what I'm doing. English is one column, maths is another column. So I'm updating more than one column at a time because English is one column here, maths is another column. So even then it is working, right? So what I'm doing, I'm updating two columns here. So just specify one column after the another. If you want to update third one also, you can say third one also, science. Then say this, I make this also 100. So now all the people from roll number 101 to 110, they'll have their all three subject marks as 100. So let's start from student 1. I run this, you can see. Student 1, nahi, sorry, student. Table ka naam student tha. Okay. So everybody from 101 to 110, so 102 say 110 tak, all their marks are 100, 100, 100, 100. Okay. Please explain, ignore once. Okay. So, okay. So roll number is equal to, let's say 101. Okay. So if I do ignore here. So if you see here, how many rows will get selected if I put 101 to 110? Who would ask the question? Rishikesh. How many rows will get selected if it is put in 101 and 110? 10, right? 10, not 9, because 101 is missing. Okay, 100 to 100, 102 to 110 is there. So you'll get 9 rows. Okay. So there are 9 rows. So which row will get updated first? 102 will get updated first. Okay. 102 will get updated first and it will become what? It will become 101. So that is fine. So now this will become 101. Let's say 102 will be 101. So now since it has become 101, if I try to make 103 also to be 101, it will fail. Why? Because I have specified roll number is a unique column. इसका मतलब anybody, any item in the roll number, right? It should only exist once. Okay. But what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to update 10 columns to have the same roll number. That is not possible because roll number is unique. So that is why what happens is, if I don't put an ignore, it fails, the query fails. Okay. It doesn't update one also. I'll show you. If I don't put an ignore, you can see it has failed red. Okay. So red is there, right? You see duplicate entry 101 for key student primary. And if you see now, nothing should be updated. Okay. Select star from student. So there should be nobody whose roll number is 101, right? So the update statement was not executed for even a single row here. Okay. But let us say I want this statement to execute for how many ever rows it can execute. Okay. So then what I'll do, I'll add a ignore here. So what this will do, this is like saying, keep updating one by one. Even if one of them fails, forget that. Keep going ahead. Okay. So now it will execute one statement and it will say error for all the other ones. See, you can see, right? What did it say? It said one row has been affected. So you have modified one row. For other 8 rows, you are not able to do anything, right? So if I do this, if I remove this ignore now, first it validates that I can run this state update statement for everyone. Okay. And only then it will start executing. But if I do ignore, so what it will do is only when it goes to that particular row, it will start checking whether this update statement is valid or no. Okay. Rishikesh, you understood? Okay. Okay. So Suraj, how to update more than one row at the same time? So I was saying, right? So whatever you specify in the where clause. So if I, like for example, so if I did select star from student, where roll number between 101 and 110. So if I run enter on this, how many rows am I seeing? I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows, right? So I'm able to get 9 rows. So if I do an update here, right? Update table name student, set whatever, let's say I set maths to 80 now. So I'm actually, what am I doing? I'm updating 9 rows at a time because this where condition is satisfied by 9 rows of this table, the student table. So that is why all of the people will become 80. All of these people between 101 and 110. can see that now. That is select star from student. When I run this, नहीं एक सेकेंड 80 आना चाहिए था. Was it student 1? No, 1 second. Update student set maths 80, where roll number is between 101 and 110. Should have been 80. Maths, no, sorry, it should be maths. I think the query failed here. Sorry. देखो, it has failed. Unknown column math field. So it should have been maths. Okay. So now it has been updated. You can see here. Update student set math 80. It has passed. 9 rows have been changed. So now if I do select star from student and run this, you can see all the people whose roll numbers are between 101 and 110. 111 is before only math, 80 I think. So 110, all their numbers have been updated to 80, right? So what we did, we executed a statement on 9 rows at a time. Okay. I hope you guys have understood this also now. What is the time? 2018. So we'll cover delete as well. Okay. So delete is also very similar, not much change. So it is used to remove the rows that are not needed in the table. Here also you can delete one row or more than one row. You can also remove the data based on a condition, just like where clause. And once you have deleted something, right, you cannot get them back. That is sure. If you delete once, unless you have a backup, you will not get it back. And then if you forget a where clause, everything in the table will get deleted. There is a way to delete all the columns all the rows in a table, that is using truncate. We'll discuss more about truncate statement in the future, maybe next class, if possible today's class. Okay, so this much is all about delete. We will I'll show you delete command. Okay, so delete is delete table name, that is student, delete from student, I think. Sorry, from, no, yeah, from student, where let us say Kudrat is leaving the college. Okay, Kudrat's roll number is 100, so I have to remove Kudrat from the table. So what I'll do is, from where roll number is equal to 108. Okay, so if I run this, you should see one row affected. Matlab, we have run this statement on one row. So if you do select star from student where roll number is 108, it's giving me empty, right? It's not giving me anything. Okay, so let us say I wanted to delete all the people whose roll numbers are less than 100, because all the people whose roll number was less than 100, they were caught doing something wrong and we want to suspend them from school. So what we will do, delete from student where roll number is less than or equal to 200. So what this will do, this has deleted 14 people now. You can see here, right? The green command, it says delete from student where roll number less than 200, 14 people, 14 rows. So we have deleted 14 people from the table. Select star from table, name student. Okay, so now you see everybody's roll number is 200 and above. Okay, so let us say what happened. You are busy doing something, and your manager had asked you to delete all the people whose roll number is less than 300. Okay, so what you will do delete from student where roll number is less than 300. Okay, but what happened? Somehow you forgot to write the statement, and somehow this statement was commented out, or it was not there. So now if you do this now, what happened? Everything from student table gets deleted. You can see 49 rows affected. So now if I do select star from student, right? What is present? Nothing is present. It is empty. So whenever you are writing delete commands, you should be extra careful. And usually what happens is, so you know you cannot reverse the data. Only if you have created some backup, like you have stored the data somewhere else, like you took a, just like let's assume you took a copy of it before and kept it somewhere else, then you can use it. Or if you are using this in a transaction, I'll tell you what a transaction is. You can do a rollback, but normally I've deleted here like this, no delete from table, you cannot get it back. Okay, so that is why what people do is delete statements and all that. They are not, people are not given permission to do a delete. You may be given permission to do a update. You may be given permission to do a insert, select, and all. But delete is not usually not given permission. It will only be with certain privileged people or administrators and all. Okay. So I think that itself is with delete. There is nothing. It's all very similar. Once you learned where clause properly, everything else is just based on that. So you should. I'm saying that you should be careful whenever you're doing delete statements. If you don't put a where clause, it will delete everything. So what did we learn so far? We have learned update query, insert query, delete query, and then string functions, date functions, and few select commands. We have finished the data manipulation language now mostly. We learned all the commands, that is select is over, insert is over, update is over, and delete is over. So we learned all this. So now we'll see about create, alter, and drop. So before that, I wanted to give you some examples that you can solve and for 5-10 minutes. Then we'll go to the drop and all. Okay. So remember we had this database, right? Select star from Amazon. So this is there, right? We have this table. So I'll give you certain update and delete commands from this so that you guys can get a idea of how to do that. And then we'll go ahead. I'll be looking at chats for your answer. Okay. Fine. So I had the question is also there in this. It's okay. So this is the first question. Update the price of Apple iPhone to 80 for this. So how do you do this? Update the price of Apple iPhone 12 to 84.99. Then what is the table name? The table name is Amazon Electronics. Amazon Electronics set price to be what? Price to be 84.99. Where? So Apple iPhone 12, you can also take the ID. ID is 1 or name. So I would prefer ID. ID is 1. Now if I run this command, it should update the table to 1. Okay. So always, try to prefer using IDs, because when you give name and all right, you can do slight mistakes or spelling might change. It will be a problem. So if you see that a table has ID, if you're able to get the ID, then it should be fine. So if I do a select statement now, select star from, so it's not coming for some reason. So next, where ID is 1. So you see Apple price has changed to 84.99. Okay. So next query, let's say I want you people to do update the in stock of Samsung. No, it's easy. Update the brand name and set where. Okay, this is correct. So this is the. So update the brand name of Amazon Kindle Paperwhite to Amazon devices. I do a select before so that you can see. Star from Amazon TR. There's a table, so Kindle Paperwhite you can see now. So this is the update the brand name of Amazon to Amazon devices, and also update Amazon Electronics set brand. Wait a minute. I gave you the answer also. Let's take one more example. Update the price of all smartphones that are in stock and made by Apple. Update the price of all smartphones that are in stock and made by Apple by 10%. The table name has changed now to Amazon, so it is just Amazon. Okay. So what are we doing? So it's in stock. It should be in stock. So if it is one only, then it is in stock. So that are in stock means where in stock is one, and that should be they should be made by Apple. Its stock is one and brand is equal to Apple. Yeah, correct. So it should be update table name Amazon set price is equal to price into 1.1 because we want to increase the price by 10%, where in stock is equal to 1 and brand is equal to Apple. Okay. So it should have executed now. Data truncated for column price. Oh, okay. Wait. Select star from Amazon. This price is equal to prices one that doesn't work. Okay. So it is correct, right? It has increased to 939. All the other Amazon items also increased. Okay. So this is fine. Set price where brand. Okay, that is fine. Let's just do one more. Update the brand name of all leaders that are out of stock to out of stock. So what we'll do, update table name Amazon set brand is out of stock where current brand is what? E-reader. E-readers and out of stock, sorry, in stock is equal to 0. Okay. So now this should work. So it has done. Hey, I think spelling galat kiya hoga because it is saying it has not updated anything. E-reader, okay, wait. Is to select star from EREADERS. Brand, sorry, oh, sorry, not brand. Category. Okay. Now it should still no. Select brand out of stock where category is e-readers and in stock is 0. Oh, okay. No, wait. Select star from. How many e-readers are there? There is one e-reader. Okay. Okay, fine. There is only one e-reader and it is not out of stock. So that is why it didn't get updated. So if I would do in stock is 1, then it should become out of stock. If I do this, it should show. Yeah, it has become out of stock. Update Amazon set name. This is the correct way to do it. Okay. In stock should be 0. It should not be 1. And because there is nothing which is having in stock as 0 here, no, that is why none of the brand names got to be out of stock. Okay. I think that much is enough. If you want, I'll share this with you people. You can practice. We'll do some of the delete queries. Delete all products in the e-readers category that are out of stock. Delete from table name that is Amazon, where category is equal to e-readers and in stock equal to 0. This should be the query. I think others also should be very straightforward because We have practiced a lot of where clauses, right? So the only thing that changes is where remains the same. We have practiced where. The only thing changes is update or what? Update and delete. Update set so and so, delete from so and so table. Okay. I think enough for now. We'll go to the next topic. Okay. So we discuss about data manipulation language. Now we'll go about data definition language. Okay. So what is data definition language? It is used to create different kinds of items. What do I mean by items? They can be a table, they can be a database, it can be a trigger, it can be a view. So any of these things, right? So we create them or we define them. We define the structure using data definition language. Okay. So the main three statements for data definition languages are create, alter, and drop. Okay. So we'll see how to. Initially, I wanted to show it for create databases. So how to create a database, then how to show what are the databases, how to delete a database. Okay, so we'll try these things. So one is create database. What do I mean by database? You can see here, right? Company, Sakila, system, and world. So these are the 4 databases that are present inside this this server. Okay. So companies one, Sakila, this. These are the name. So database and schema both are one and the same. So you can call it a database or you can call it a schema. And inside this database, you can see it has a lot of things. It has tables, it has views, it has stored procedures, it has functions. Okay. So far we only created tables. That is why there are different tables here. But you can also create views. You can also create stored procedure. You can also create function. Even in this, you can see. So this is not that way work on. So this has views also. Okay. So this has views. This also has stored procedures. Okay, and lot of things. So what do I do if I want to create a database? Just do create database and then database name. So let us say, let's call this database Atharvo. Okay, so if I hit enter, the database is created. So it should show 1 row affected. See, if I do a refresh here, no, so it should show this database has been created, right? So inside this, there is nothing currently. So tables, views, stored procedure, functions, all of them are empty. But this is how we create a database. So if I try to create this again, it will throw an error saying this database already exists. Can't create database Atharvo because database already exists. So that time what I can do is create database. I can say if not exists. Press the if not exists. Okay. Yeah, an error. What happened with if? Oh, sorry, we have not supposed to use this. It's just statement like this. So create database if not exists Atharvo. If I do enter, so can't create database. It didn't do anything, but it didn't throw us an error. It just gave us a warning. It gave us a warning saying it is already there. Let us say I want to create one more database. I go to. I think database should not have. Here's the name. Okay, we can't have a column. Say the name of the database is this much. Atharvo. So if I hit enter, this will give a green because it has created the database. If I do a refresh, I should see here Atharvo is a database. Right? Okay. So these other things, that is character set and collate. So this is to define what is the character set you are using in your MySQL server. Currently, we don't have to worry about it because it is always same. Very, very rarely you need to change it. Okay. So no need to worry about this. So then let us say, how do I get to know how many databases are there? There's command called show databases. Okay, so if I do and hit enter, so it will show me what are the databases inside this MySQL server. Words, all of this. Okay. So why you are not able to see information schema and performance schema here? It is because these are the databases that are maintained by MySQL only. These are not created by us and these are not user related. Okay. So that is why you are not able to see them on the side here. So you can also do show schema, I think. No, doesn't work here. Okay. So database. And also whenever you are writing any queries, right? So they are with respect to a database. So like if you see, Amazon table exists in company. It doesn't exist in Sakila. So I cannot go to this database and say, get me something from Sakila, get me something from this table. So how do I say use this particular database only? It is by saying use company. Use the name of the database. Okay. So now we have started using the company database. So that is why now if I do select star from Amazon, right? It will work. It is showing me. Right. But if I say use Sakila, so now it is using Sakila. Now if I select star from Amazon, it will throw an error. So it is saying table sakila.amazon does not exist. Because there is no Amazon table in Sakila, it throws error saying you have not, you cannot fetch from Amazon table because I'm not able to find any Amazon table. Again, if I do use company, then if I do select star from Amazon, now I can again see back, okay, that this is the what this this is the information that is present in the table. Okay, so how do I delete a database? Do delete and then the name of the database. Let's say I want to delete Atharva. ATHA. ATHARV. Oh, delete database, I think it is. Delete by SQL query. Oh, sorry, it is drop. It is drop. So when you do a drop database Atharva, it says it shows green, right? So if I do, okay, it has been deleted already. If I do Atharva 2 also, this will also get deleted. So see, this is also deleted. So whenever I delete a database, right, whatever is present inside that, all of the data will get lost. I mean, it will go away. Amazon, I don't want to delete this because these tables will use in future for other things. But if I do delete drop database company, right? So then it will delete everything that is present in this database, tables, views, stored procedures, functions, and everything. So we don't want to do that. So these are the commands that you want to use for use whenever you're creating, updating, deleting, or using a database. Okay. So use database, show databases, drop database if it is present, and then drop schema. You can use drop schema also, etc. Drop schema also should work. Let's create first. Huh? Create database company one. Schema company one. Yeah, see schema and database both of them go. Both of them work. So company one has been deleted. Okay. So these are the database DDL commands. Now let us look at create table. How much time we have left? Okay, we have 15 minutes. I'll just show you this. We'll stop after this. If people have doubts and all, we can continue. Tomorrow onwards, we'll start with create DDL commands related to tables. Okay. So what is the syntax for create table? So you have create table, then you have an optional to write whether if it create table only if it exists, only if it does not exist. If not exist, it means that it will try to create this table only if it is not existing. And then you have a table name. So that is the name of the table. And then you have column definitions, like how we had here, right? So for every, here you can see all the columns have some kind of definition. So they have the data type, and then they have the, what do you say? These are constraints. So whatever after data type, now it is called as constraint. So you can see ID, name is of data type varchar, price is of data type decimal, brand is of data type varchar, categories of type again varchar, and in stock is of type tiny int. ID has a auto increment constraint, primary key constraint. Okay. So like for example, bitwise, there are two columns, both are of type int intent. There is a primary key, dates demo. So similarly, a column definition will have the name of the column, the data type, and if size, and then you have certain constraints. They are called column level constraints. Okay. And after all of the column definitions, you have something called table constraint. So what are these? So let us say I want to add some conditions on the whole table itself, that a combination of these two columns should not be empty. The value that is present in this column should always be greater than certain value. Or I want to make something primary key, foreign key. I'll tell you what is primary key, foreign key in the next later on. But so the definition looks like this: column definitions, and then all the columns are over, you have table constraints. Okay. If I have an example, so just one example here. So you can see create table, the name of the table, employee table. ID is of type integer. There are different constraints. Not null is one constraint, auto increment is another constraint, and the name is another column. It is of the type varchar of size 45, and its constraint is also not null. Occupation is another column. Varchar is the data type of this column. Not null is in constraint. Age is again one more column. Int is the type of data. Not null is again another column constraint. And primary key is a table constraint. So for this whole table, ID is the primary key. ID is this column name here. So there is a primary key. That's enough for today. We'll continue from the next session, that is create table. We'll look at different examples, and then what are column level constraints, what are primary key, foreign key. Then we'll look at some examples of creating different tables. Then we'll do alter table delete, and all. This will be tomorrow.